Morning, everybody. So it is President's Day 2018, where we think about and consider the accomplishments of our past leaders. Anyway, this is not really what this vid is going to be about. What this vid is going to be about is the Trump initiative to replace the food stamp program, the SNAP program, with what would be essentially a government version of Blue Apron. Now, it sounds good on the surface. Actually, it doesn't. It doesn't sound good on the surface. What you would have is the government replace SNAP benefits where people actually have choices, freedom, that so many of you conservatives allegedly support and admire. It would strip these people of the freedom to select the foods that they feel are best for their family. Now, this entire thing is based on what is essentially a fantasy that there are millions of people running out and buying steaks and lobster and, giant bottles of soda and giant boxes of candy bars with taxpayer dollars. They're wasting taxpayer dollars on junk food. There's a picture of a receipt that has all these cold lobster tails and New York strip steaks on it. Okay, that's one receipt that supposedly someone with, on food stamps bought. They bought that with food stamps. That's one receipt. Me personally, I don't know many people on food stamps that run out and buy lobster and steak and all that other kind of stuff. Because most people on food stamps, they're not getting thousands of dollars a month to afford that. They're not getting that kind of money to go buy lobster and steak and all that every single time. It just doesn't happen. This has been blown way out of proportion, and now we have Donald Trump and his cronies wanting to take that freedom of choice from these people and establish a government menu that they don't even really get to have any say-so in. They're going to get a box of food from the government and they're just going to have to make do, which is completely ridiculous. I can remember very well when Michelle Obama started her lunch program and put it in the schools, and conservatives went absolutely and utterly nuts. This is government interference, and we can't have this, and it's just going to be a disaster. And you know what? It was a disaster. Kids didn't eat it. The food got thrown away. It didn't taste good. There wasn't enough of it. And, it was a terrible experience. And you guys were against that. I was against that. But all of a sudden, now that Trump wants to do this on a nationwide scale, and this would affect millions more people, you guys suddenly are in favor of it. So let me make sure I have this right. Michelle Obama revamps the school lunch program, and you want to bring her up on charges of treason. But Trump wants to do the same thing that will affect millions of American families. And it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Are you guys serious right now? That's you're supporting the very thing you railed against not very long ago. You did not trust the government under Barack Obama to handle health care or to handle the school lunches. But now you have all this faith in Uncle Sam to get this right? Come on, man. You can't have it both ways. You can't. It's the most hypocritical, one of the most hypocritical stances that I've seen coming from the right lately. Now, I know what some of you will defend this by saying, well, there are people selling their food stamps. Okay. Is it enough people selling their food stamps to require the complete overhaul of the SNAP program? Is it that bad? I doubt it. I doubt it very seriously. I would like to know this. I need you guys to answer a question for me. What would you do about those military members who are on food stamps? Because there is a percentage of military personnel on food stamps. Would you strip the freedom to choose from those who put their lives on the line to defend our freedom? Would you take the freedom to choose their food? One of the most basic of human needs. You would take that choice away from them. You would strip that away from those who put their lives on the line to defend our freedom. This segment of the population that conservatives champion, you would strip that freedom from them. Really? This is what we do now? No. If you truly believed in freedom, you would not support this. If you truly believed in the small government that you crow about day in, day out, you would not support this. There are people in this country, there are children in this country that have peanut allergies, they have gluten allergies, they have seafood allergies, or whatever. People that are on food stamps whose children have these conditions, they make choices based on that. They make choices on not having to run their kid to the hospital because they ate something that gave them an allergy. Do you really think that the United States government, should this ever come to pass, do you really think the United States government is going to take into consideration these conditions as they try to feed millions of people at the same time every month with these government Blue Apron food boxes? Do you really think that's going to happen? I don't. Just like I didn't think the government would completely get Obamacare right, and they didn't. Just like I thought the government was not going to get the lunch program right, and they didn't. But suddenly, because Trump is in the White House, Trump is going to get this right. See, this is what I'm talking about when I say that you can't have it both ways. This is what I say when I call you guys trumpeters. Because no matter what he does, you support it. Even if it goes completely against a position you held not very long ago. This is the same situation that we had with Michelle Obama's lunch program, and you railed against it. I railed against it because it was unneeded government interference. This is the same thing. It's unneeded government interference. But somehow, this time, it's gonna get done right because Trump is in the White House. Now, you gotta pick a side. Either you support government interference in people's daily lives, or you don't. It's just that simple.